On another note, New Yorkers should also plan to not only take care of themselves, but also take care of their pets during this period of extreme heat. Make sure to provide ample water indoors and outdoors, limit outdoor activity, and if outdoors, rest in shaded areas regularly. Be mindful of pavement temperatures. Hot surfaces may cause burns on paws, so consider walking on grass or even using pet boots.
Okay.
Never leave pets unattended in vehicles, and know the signs of heat stroke in pets, including excessive panting, drooling, lethargy, vomiting,
to
and
this
stumbling.
new segment.
At this point, I would like to turn it over to the state's doctor and health commissioner, Dr. McDonald, for further updates and information.
This guy right
thank
here.
You, Terry. So good morning. I'm Dr. Jim McDonald, Commissioner of the New York State Department of Health.
His damnedest.
Heat events
he's trying, that guy before, right off the bat, he was trying his damnedest to not laugh. He's like, I cannot believe these fools are paying me $45,000 to do this. Like, okay, do not leave your pets outside. It's going to be hot. And like, he was sitting there going like, these people are fucking retards. Like, but I digress. Welcome to the new segment, which is, let's find out what is going on in the news. A new segment where we find out what the hell is going on in the news. And the news might not be even interesting that day. That is not my job. My job is to bring to you some news. Might not be the most relevant, might not be the craziest. I will bring you news every day, though. So, let's continue as I eat my breakfast spaghetti.
Extreme heat are becoming more common in New York State. And I think it's one of those things where we just need to recognize this is a significant health event. And one of the key things we want to keep in mind is like, what are we trying to prevent? Really, when you think about this, like, why are we having this conversation? What do we want to prevent?
Okay.
Everyone is at risk when you have extreme heat.
Bro, listen, man. If normal adult humans cannot figure this out, that the heat will kill them and that they should do something about it, whatever they got to do, then Darwinism, just let nature take its course. You don't need this guy to tell you. It is going to be very hot. You could die if you get too hot. And the reason I'm telling you this is because I think you're a retarded person. Okay? Because I don't think that you have the ability to go, it's really hot, I need to not be hot. So insulting.
Yet not everyone is at the same risk. Elderly folks?
Like, are you going to just chill? Elderly people? It's like, look, man, if I was hot somewhere, you know what I would do? I would not be in that place I was at. I would go, you know, it's really hot. And if I stay here, I'm going to die. I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave this place. I'm going to leave this place where I'm at. Maybe I'm too hardcore. Let's see.
65 and older, anyone who's pregnant.
And see what pisses me off, what frustrates me, And see, what pisses me off and frustrates me is that this guy has gotten paid God knows how much money to tell you, look, if you're 65 years or older and you're getting a little hot, you should find, I guarantee you, his ass gonna be saying, you should find a place that isn't as hot. There are plenty of locations. You can go to restaurants. You can go to 7-Elevens. You can, repair your AC unit. I guarantee he's going to say some shit like that.
The very young, anyone with an underlying health condition are at higher risk. That's a lot of us New Yorkers. And I think
this guy got paid probably like $250,000 for this one little education clip he's
it's just really
giving
important
us.
to understand there's risk. When we see these events, there is risk. I think one of the things we want to say is, well, what do we want to prevent? I don't want you to get sick. I don't want you to end up in the emergency department. I don't want you to end up in the hospital. I don't want you to pass away. These events do kill people. And it's a preventable
hospital is
death.
the best place to go.
So I think this is why it's very
shit,
important just for us to take a step back and look at this extreme weather event and say, how do I prepare? And it really gets to like, well, what are we trying to avoid again? I think it really gets this.
And this lady, she got paid $150K to do this sign languaging. And you know the funny part is? She's not even like really signing. She's just going like this. That's come to find out, she's actually not been signing at all, anything. Anybody who speaks sign language looks at her and goes, you know that she just said, like, rocks are on the ground, where's the bathroom, hi, my name is, like, she's just saying basic bitch shit.
This issue of like, what does a heat injury look like, right? So when you think about what a heat injury is, how does a heat injury start? So up when you're outside, I think the key thing to remember is heat injury sneaks up on all of us. It doesn't just start and all of a sudden you're sick. You may start feeling faint, maybe a little dizzy, maybe nauseous. In other words, a little sick to your stomach. Then you might feel some weakness. Maybe can't walk straight. You see how it progresses, right? And then you get muscle cramps, might progress to confusion, even convulsions, loses consciousness. And then you get this high temperature, well over 104 degrees. What we're trying to prevent is a heat injury. And I think it's really important to say, like, well, what can I do to prevent a heat injury? So I want to first start with just some healthy habits that you should do every day. And I just want to here's something I do to start my day every day.
Back in the day, whenever you didn't have AC, and people weren't such little bitches, you know what they would do? They would go to the movie theater, because the movie theater had like the newest air conditioning. That's not even a lie. That's where they would go hang out. The movie theater. But movie theaters are dying. I can't even believe there still are movie theaters, really, to be honest.
Every day, I wake up, I start with a tall glass of ice water. So this is stupid. I drink water all day long, so I love water, but really recommend as you start your day, just start with a glass of water. Because when we go to bed at night and sleep at night, we're dehydrating overnight. So your body would treasure just a nice tall glass of water every day. That's one good, really healthy habit. But it's really important to just drink plenty of water.
I know shit. Drink like this is water. I know shit. Drink like probably 5 of these in the morning. God damn, water is good. I love water. I don't get people who don't like water.
It's important to be in an air-conditioned environment. It's also important.
Man, I crush this breakfast spaghetti. Another fun tip: if you like pop and shit like that, soda water. Man, I tell you what, I will drink soda water. I would just replace all my water with soda water, to be honest. I love soda water because you get that fizz. I think you can even get little flavors you put in there.
To find a cooling center if you need one. And by the way, I have a useful website for you. It's health.ny.gov/heat dashboard. So if you go to health.ny.gov/heat dashboard, you'll find you can see the forecast for extreme heat.
Okay.
I have a nice color-coded chart so you can look at the risk. By the way, we also have data there on how many people have ended up in the emergency department or had to call emergency medical services. So if you like data, you can see that. But that webpage is helpful. But let's talk about things we can do just to avoid.
See, she got fired. She got let go on the job, like literally in the middle of her job, because she was signing. She was signing bullshit.
Getting dehydrated during the day.
I don't know if that's
so. When you think about water, how
not,
much water you need to drink. If you're outside on a hot day, like we're going to see here, really hot days, you need to drink a lot of water. Now, I have just to show you there. This is a little over a quart of water.
How many things water does
It's really
this guy
quite a
have?
bit when you look at it, right? But if you're outside working in the heat and you're outside doing something, you need to drink one of these every single hour. That's intentional work. And really when we think about dealing with extreme heat events, we have to be very intentional about what we do.
Being outside
so one of these every hour is what you need to drink. Obviously, they're refillable, and tap water is just fine. I just wanted to illustrate, this for you today. But
I just got a little bit of
that's a
fluoride
fairly large amount of water you need to drink here. I think it's really important to have plenty of water here. But one of the other things we need to think about when we want to prevent a heat injury, it's not just what we drink, is it? The New York State Department of Health has always told you to eat healthy food, right? We've never told you to drink sugary beverages or processed food. But I just want you to think about this for just a minute here. By the way, it's strawberry season in New York, right? Beautiful strawberries all over New York.
Had
wonderful time to have strawberries, right? But strawberries are a healthy, nutrient-dense food, right? It's not just filled with antioxidants, vitamins, but there's water in strawberries. Fruit,
look at the
vegetable,
amount of strawberries.
Lean proteins. This is what we need to be eating. Processed food concerns me. And by the way, this is a quart of strawberries, a lot of strawberries. You know what? There's the same amount of calories in one breakfast pastry treat.
Jesus
this
Christ.
is strawberry breakfast pastry treat. That's a flavor, not a food, my friends.
There's got to be as many strawberries in that toaster strudel Pop-Tart thing as there are in there. It's because they're concentrated. So there's probably as many nutrients in that Pop-Tart as there are in those strawberries, that whole huge thing you got holding on to that you're having trouble. He's got his whole fridge, his whole pantry right there. He's like, man, look, bring it all out. Bring it all out. And they're like, oh my God, okay. They don't even know what the hell he's talking about, but they're going to just bring everything from his fridge, set it on his desk. Same with his pantry. But that Pop-Tart has just as many vitamins as those strawberries. It's essentially like one of those vitamin pills where they just dehydrate the fruits and vegetables and they put the powdered form in a little capsule. It's essentially what a Pop-Tart is.
That's nutrition. This concerns me because when you live on processed food, you're not drinking enough water. And you put yourself a little bit higher risk, my friend. So remember, let's eat our fruits and vegetables, support our New York farm.
Well, the reason why you got to drink more water is because you're processing. Yeah, it's process. That's process. And it's because you're processing an entire quart of strawberries. You got to drink more water. It's the Pop-Tart is not so he's not even tackling the actual issue. The issue is you need to be tackling the water consumption, not the actual badass Pop-Tart, which if you're having a strawberry Pop-Tart, you 100% should be coating it all in butter because it's just better that way. But make sure you drink water.
And that'll help us in the long run, by the way. But
all right, so what you were listening to right there was the health commissioner with the New York State Department of Health. He was kind of providing some tips, and these apply to a lot of folks nationwide, as we know that more than 200 million Americans are going to be under the threat of that heat dome. So we're talking temperatures 90 degrees or higher. And we are told that records that were set all the way back in the 1800s could be broken in several cities. And we're talking about 30 states that are under those heat advisories. We are going to head to a break here at 11:39 on the East Coast and 8:39 on the West Coast.
Well, I'm going to head
You're watching Live Now from Fox. We'll be right back.
Into a break of the channel. How about that for some shit? Like, okay. Let's see what these fools have to say. See, we are indiscriminately just looking at the news.
It's possible
Let's find out
this
what's
runs
going
out
on.
in less than a decade.
Yeah, good to be with you. And this gets everybody's attention. There's some
right.
66 million people that receive Social Security, those average payments.
Okay.
Somewhere around $2,000 a month. So
Who
this
the
is a
hell
new
is this
report
guy?
from the trustees of the Social Security Fund, and that's the Treasury Secretary, that's the Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the head of Health and Human
Social
Services,
Security
but also the head of the
Retirement
Department of
Trust
Labor and
Fund
Social
may
Security.
be
They say
depleted.
because of the excess spending on Social Security benefits and the changing demographics of the workforce, more people.
Yeah, I'm sure that running out of Social Security and all of that has nothing to do with the, $100 million worth of condoms that we supplied to Gaza. Can't figure out why we're running out of money. Oh my God, this is crazy. Guys, I don't know how this happened, but we provided $230 million to produce a trans Sesame Street, a trans propaganda. I don't even know how the fuck you say it, okay? I don't know. So, like, listen, guys, I have no idea how this happened, but we're running out of money for Social Security. And then somebody's like, well, where did all the money go? Well, okay, so we spent $100 million on condoms for individuals in Gaza. Then we also spent $51 million on producing a Sesame Street that highlighted trans in Dubai. And it just doesn't make sense. And there's a myriad of other things that we spend a lot of money on, but I wouldn't worry about those. Those are just the ones I was willing to actually show you. But don't worry. We're going to figure it out somehow.
We're getting hospitalizations and we're living longer. That trust fund could be depleted or be.
Oh, by the way, it is very important that we spend $371 million on aiding gay people who have AIDS in Kuwait.
Solvent by 2033. That's a year earlier than forecast.
Like,
it doesn't mean it'll be all gone.
what the
It just
fuck?
means payments are.
And it's like, oh yeah, by the way, you guys are paying for this. Okay, so don't worry about it. It's not coming from from our pocket. It's coming from your pocket. And, yeah. I mean, I don't know if the whole gay thing in Kuwait was true or not, but I'm sure it wasn't. I can't imagine there's a lot of gay people in Kuwait.
Are likely to be reduced to Social Security recipients by as much as 26% or so, 19%, I could say.
I should go find my phone. Bleiben. I should go find my phone. Give me a second. Everybody calm down. So Doge has achieved $180 billion in government cost reductions as of early June in 2025. I mean, that is absolutely bonkers. Wow. Like, there have been contracts that have just been given out, and some of the individuals they were giving these contracts out to, they would either just not do the work, or they would do the work one time and then they kept getting paid for years. And they weren't even doing the job. There is so much like corruption within the government. I don't know how it doesn't drive people insane. Because we have, like, I got to do more research, but we're doing the news live here. We're not doing that. I will get back into that. I will dive into
2033.
that.
So the payments might be reduced unless legislation is passed to increase the contribution we make into the Social Security funds.
Caleb, can anything be done to reverse this? Can the government protect it at this point?
Yeah, well, remember that Social Security is paid into by employers and employees. You've probably seen on your paycheck and your pay stub the FICA tax. That is what contributes to Social Security.
Yeah, what you need to do is take in more illegal immigrants.
$167,000 or so. And so what lawmakers are trying to say is we might need to raise that amount. We might need to increase the contribution from people making more money, but they're also asking for legislation from Congress to help make these funds solvent so they last a little bit longer. We've always been concerned that Social Security might run out just because of the, what's happening with immigration.
How the fuck is it going to run out? I mean, how the fuck does our Social Security run out? It doesn't make sense. I mean, we're inviting all of these illegal immigrants in. We're giving them places to stay. We are giving them credit cards, cell phones, free money, free health care. Obviously, we have so much money that it doesn't even matter. So why would Social Security for our own individuals, our own household, how would that run out? Because, I mean, like, I'm just going based off of what's happening, right? Because I'm like, we obviously got so much money that, we just we can burn it. It doesn't matter, right? So I'm just curious as to, I'm sure it's got nothing to do with anything or corrupt government. I'm sure it's got nothing to do with any of that. I'm sure it's got nothing to do with, individuals that are, taking pardon deals for, $200,000 each, and just come to find out, the Democrats are the ones who have been, it's like Democrat Joe Biden, 400,000, Democrat Joe Biden, 4,000 pardons, There was another one. Anyways, the top 3 government officials or the top 3 presidents to pardon people, the most people, are Democrats. And then, below that you have Trump with 411. And I'm sure it's got nothing to do with any kind of corruption like that, because if they're they wouldn't actually take money for pardons. Like, let's be real, right? They wouldn't take like $200,000 for pardons using an auto pen. I mean, that's like straight up criminal. So, yeah, I mean, like, I wouldn't even think that would be happening.
If you have less immigrant workers, that's less people contributing. We're living longer.
Oh, less immigrant workers. So, how does that make any fucking sense? How does that? I don't understand that logic. Well, there's less immigrants, so obviously, like, Social Security is going to run out. I mean, duh.
Right? We are requiring more hospitals.
How about there's just not as many workers? I don't think they have to be immigrant workers. Why would he be a fucking idiot? This guy is a fucking dumb fucking idiot. There's less immigrant workers, so obviously there's less people contributing to the who the fuck is this guy? What is this guy's name? He's a dumb ass. There's less immigrant workers, so obviously there's less people contributing because we don't fucking work. And like, we don't contribute. I would venture to say that actually it would be regular Americans who are fucking not working because there are fucking illegal immigrants here. So that would be the little twist that he should be fucking saying. Not only that, but he should be talking about, oh yeah, by the way, there's all kinds of the last fucking the last presidency had a lot of corrupt shit going on. So one does not make $32 million when their salary is $150,000 in 4 years. One does not make $32 million when their salary is $150,000 a year over a 4-year period. It's like, give me your stock picks. Nancy Pelosi, this is like, and the crazy shit is that it's like insider trading. And they're just like, we don't give a shit. We get companies that come to us and they go, hey, we'll give you X amount of money if you just turn a blind eye. It is so fucked. The whole fucking thing is fucked, man.
More medicine, that's depleting the funds. So they're saying we got to do something to change this, but just don't expect anything to happen anytime soon. This guy's a fucking idiot. Congress has its hands full with the big, beautiful tax bill and other issues at the moment.
I mean, Caleb, you just said this, but just to reiterate and say the quiet part out loud, what everybody's thinking at home. Every 2 weeks, people pay into Social Security with the idea that they can rely.
Except for the illegal immigrants, they don't pay dick into Social Security. And he was like, he highlighted, well, we have less immigrants. Okay. In Omaha, there was a steak company that ICE fucking raided. Totally took every fucking employee out of there because they were illegal immigrants, not paying into the fucking tax system. And you know what happened? Within 48 hours, boom, they had legal people in there paying taxes. And that's why this fucking problem exists, you fucktard. Like, he is so fucking stupid that he is just very, very dumb.
Rely on it when they retire, when they need it for the rest of their
She's like, well, you know,
lives. How concerned should Americans be? And for somebody who's hearing this right now, who's thinking, you know, I retire after 2033, what's that going to mean for me? Is there any tips that you have for someone preparing now?
Yeah, get every motherfucking illegal immigrant out of the United States of America because they ain't paying into dick, and get legal people working there. That's the fucking huge mega hint.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to supplement your retirement income.
You're going to have to supplement it with illegal immigrants. So, you know, you're going to have to hire a bunch of illegals to work and do your yard work for your massive lawn and maintain your gate that closes automatically when you pull up to it. It's going to be a real bitch.
Can't just be Social Security. But remember, the average payment is somewhere around $2,000 a month. And if that gets depleted by 19% or 23% over the next decade or so, well, that's going to reduce your income. So you got to be saving for retirement in other ways. That means IRAs, 401ks, and other means of actually growing.
Hiring illegals to do your yard work so you don't have to spend as much money doing your yard work. And then you can like pocket that. You know, pretty much like the Biden administration has done. You know, taking every little dollar that you can and really sacrificing your integrity to the max so that you can pad your wallet as thick as possible.
Your retirement nest income, because Social Security is probably not going to take care of it. It probably wouldn't have taken care of it anyway, but now we have a real problem. And it's not like this is some outside agencies warning us about this. This is the Treasury Secretary and the head of Health and Human Services and the people that run that trust fund. They are warning us right now that it's going to run out a year earlier or be insolvent a year earlier than forecast. So you got to do your own thing and make sure
you know how are you going to survive on $2,000 a month? Bro, are you kidding me right now? There ain't no way, bro. Like, you'd have trouble paying the electricity bill with that. I mean, not really, but like, you'd be able to pay the electricity, but then you'd be, actually, you might not. I mean, that's a third, 33.3333%. So, yeah. Anyways, I just wanted to take a gander at the news today, this morning, kind of get everybody prepared for what you're looking forward to, or what to look forward to when it comes to the morning. I will be on later. I will have a news recap at the end of the night. And yeah, everybody have a wonderful day. For you all on the East Coast, I know it's a little later, so you know, we're going to try to work on that. You, Timmy, this little son of a bitch over here, he's getting really, he's not very good at waking me up, you know, so we'll figure that out. Might have to just like, just kidding, buddy. Just kidding. Just kidding, man. Don't worry. I know you got it. All right. Yeah. Till tomorrow. Peace, everybody.